I have this ability to tell if someone's good or bad. Good people smell sweet, bad people stink. But that emperor everyone says is cruel and violent, he smells bitter. When no one was looking, I secretly snuck him a bunch of sweet cakes. The last person who gave me sweets wanted me dead. What about you? I want you to be happy and sweet and live a long, long life. I'm the only daughter of Minister Shen. Since I was little, I've had this ability to tell good from bad. My nose isn't like everyone else's. I can smell what people are like. Dad told me. If anyone found out about my ability, it'd bring disaster. So I rarely left the house. Never talked much to anyone. Until I came of age. My parents realized not only was my nose different, but my brain was different too. The doctor said I had delayed development. I don't really get it, but basically he's saying I'm a little slow. After that, my parents stopped keeping me locked up. They hired me a tutor and started taking me out. I was thrilled, obviously. Lan, remember? If you smell someone who stinks, don't tell anyone. Wait till we get home, then tell us quietly. Every time we go out, Dad reminds me over and over. Today's no different. But today is different. Mom said today's the Emperor's birthday celebration. Officials ranked 4th grade and up can bring family to the palace. The Emperor? I know about him. A while back, when Mom and I went to see a play, I heard people gossiping. I can't remember most of what they said. Just that the Emperor is supposed to be super evil. So he must smell super bad. To test this theory, while everyone was kneeling with their heads down, I deliberately looked up to get a view. Easy enough to lock eyes with him across the crowd. Total opposite of what I expected. He doesn't stink. He's actually gorgeous. Like some immortal from a painting. Before I could think more, Dad yanked my head down. I knew. I'd messed up again. Dad told me before we left. You can't look at the Emperor. I still don't get why though. I think if someone's good looking, you should look at them like the flowers in my garden. I stare at them all day. The Emperor didn't punish me. Or my dad. Those people were lying. He's not evil, but he's not good either. I can't smell any stink on him. But I can't smell anything sweet either. So weird. But Dad wouldn't let me smell anymore. He stuffed a bunch of sweet cakes in my pocket. Then had Mom take me to the gardens. The palace gardens are way bigger than ours. Not only tons of flowers I've never seen, but rock formations too. Perfect for hide and seek. While Mom was chatting with the ladies, I grabbed my cakes and dove into the rocks. Either I'm way too good at hide and seek, or Mom's just terrible, because she couldn't find me forever. But I ran into the Emperor. He was standing behind a rock, and in front of him was this delicate-looking woman. She cooed, "Whatever your majesty wants, this humble girl will give." He said, "What do I want?" She replied, "If your majesty makes me empress, the Li clan will put your majesty first in all things." They talked for a while. I couldn't hear clearly and didn't really understand. After the woman left, the Emperor suddenly turned and looked right at me. He's way smarter than Mom, found me instantly. I said, "Your majesty, how'd you know I was here?" His handsome eyebrows furrowed slightly as he walked toward me. When he got close, I finally smelled him. Not stinky, not sweet, just this faint bitterness. Like that time I was sick, and the doctor gave me the most bitter medicine ever. The Emperor walked right up to me, looked me over, then asked coldly, "You're Minister Shen's daughter, Shenlan?" I nodded, still staring up at him. Why does he smell so bitter? Before he could say more, I blurted out, "Your majesty, have you ever had candy?" He clearly didn't expect me to ask that. Stunned for a second. When he didn't answer, I blinked at him. He asked, "Why do you ask?" "Because you smell really bitter, like you've never had anything sweet."
But Dad
told me I can't tell people I can smell them. So instead, I pulled out my sweet cakes and gave him half. It hurt, honestly. "Here, have some cake." I just ate one. They're super sweet, loaded with sugar. Maybe it'll help with the bitterness. He looked down at the cakes in my hand and laughed softly. "Shenlan, you're pretty bold." I grinned. "Thank you for the compliment, your majesty." He looked stunned again. Then I heard from nearby, Mom frantically calling my name. She must think I'm lost. I'm not that dumb. I shoved the cakes into the Emperor's hands and heard him say coldly, "Someone gave me sweets once too, but they wanted me dead. I don't know why. But he looked so cold and lonely, even sadder than that wet puppy in our garden." I stood on my tiptoes to pat his head, but he was too tall. So I just gave him a quick hug. I said, "I want you to be happy and sweet, and live a really long life." Mom's voice was getting closer. I let go of the Emperor, grabbed my skirt and ran back. After a few steps, I remembered something. Turned back to the Emperor, who was still standing there, and whispered, "That lady was lying to you. Don't believe her. She stinks." Then I ran off without looking back. That way he won't. Ask how I knew. The Emperor's sitting on his high throne, chin propped on one hand, leaning down to look at me. Just a moment ago, as my parents were about to leave the palace, someone stopped us. Next thing I know, I'm brought to this golden hall. It's just me and the Emperor. That bitter smell on him hasn't faded at all. "Your majesty, you didn't eat the cakes?" His beautiful eyes flickered. He stood up. As he walked closer, the bitterness got stronger. "I heard you're different from others." He stood in front of me, looking down at me, with an expression I couldn't read. I thought he knew about my nose thing. But then he continued, "Of age, yet still slow." Oh, that's what he means. Relieved, I immediately defended myself. "My tutor says I'll catch up soon. Yesterday, I almost had a breakthrough." The Emperor chuckled. Just then, the eunuch who brought me in rushed back. He knelt and said quietly, "Your majesty, Minister Shen is kneeling outside requesting an audience." I turned to the eunuch, "My dad." The eunuch kept his head down. I looked back at the Emperor. He ignored the eunuch, just looked at me, smiling faintly. "Your father truly loves you." "Of course, my dad's the best dad in the world. Ben Lan is truly blessed. I never had a father so bitter." When he said that, the bitter smell around him got so thick. "Then let my dad be your dad too." He froze, his eyes turning, so dark like ink, like they could swallow me whole. After a long silence, he asked, "I can?" "Of course, let's Shen Feng in."